Has anyone ever shared the harsh reality about life after 80? Entering your 80s brings a subtle change that few discuss. Not just the obvious things like birthdays or slower mornings, but deeper, often silent shifts. This stage holds both wisdom and loss, closeness and distance, profound peace and sometimes loneliness. If you're unprepared, these changes can surprise you, leaving you wondering why no one warned you. In this video, we'll explore 5 tough truths about life after 80, not to frighten or depress you, but to give you clarity. When you recognize these realities, you're no longer powerless. You can face them with strength instead of shock. We'll cover shrinking social circles, a body that no longer recovers like before, growing dependence that feels awkward yet necessary, how society tends to overlook you quietly, and that strange pain when old regrets meet too much time and too little purpose. Stay until the end because, although some truths are heavy, they open the way to acceptance, resilience, and a chance to shape your final years with dignity defined only by you. Let's dive into what really happens after 80 and how to navigate it with clear eyes, steady hands, and a proud heart. Number 1. A shrinking social circle. One of the earliest realities after 80 isn't physical, but relational. People who once filled your world begin to disappear, often suddenly. Friends pass away, neighbors move, siblings grow silent, and even longtime companions who called weekly might now call every few months. It's not personal, just the passage of time, but it leaves a hollow space. No matter your strength or independence, one day you wake up realizing the phone rings less, invitations dwindle, family visits become shorter and rushed. Loved ones still care but are busy or dealing with their own aging. The lively interactions that once filled your days with voices and laughter slowly fade. This reality isn't something prepared for in your 60s or even 70s. Then most are still present with energy and visits, but after 80, the shift is quiet. So quiet you might not even notice at first. I knew a man named Walter, 84, who had visited the same coffee shop every morning for years. The staff knew his order. His friends met him without texting. It was routine. Over time, those friends stopped coming. Some passed away, some moved, others stopped driving. Walter told me, "It's strange to walk into a place where everyone once knew your name, and now you're just the man in the corner booth." The loneliness from that kind of loss isn't always loud. Sometimes it's just a quiet silence after dinner or a walk that feels too empty. It's realizing your circle is shrinking and there's no stopping it. But knowing this can empower you to open new doors. Stay connected on your own terms, whether through church, lunch, a call you make, or even a letter. After 80, connection won't come to you like before. You have to seek it out, and that takes courage. But you've already proven you have plenty of that courage. Number 2, a body that stops bouncing back. By the time you reach 80, your body no longer whispers its warnings, it speaks loudly. The small aches that once disappeared now linger. The tiredness that went away after a nap might last into the next day. What surprises many is that after 80, even minor health issues can change everything overnight. You might wake feeling fine, but by evening notice dizziness, a sore leg, or a cough that won't quit. Suddenly, you find yourself in a waiting room hearing words like monitoring, imaging, or possible admission. What once could be brushed off with rest now demands your attention, and often there's no going back to how things were. What makes this phase so hard isn't only the pain, but the unpredictability. You can eat well, move gently, sleep enough, and still feel your body making choices without your consent. A slip on the stairs can mean weeks of recovery. A stomach bug might leave you drained for days. Even when you bounce back, things aren't quite the same. Balance feels off, breathing takes effort, and recovery slows. I once met a woman named Gloria, 81, sharp and proud of her independence. She loved gardening, neighborhood walks, and her book club. But after a minor fall while trimming roses, everything changed. It wasn't the injury, but the aftermath, she said. Weeks of rest became months of weakness. Confidence faded. I thought I was just resting, but my body treated it like a full stop. That's something few tell you. Rest at 80 isn't always healing. It can lead to decline. Sometimes, even when careful, your body decides to slow anyway. The truth? You're not bouncing back, you're adapting forward. But this knowledge brings strength. You start honoring your energy more wisely, pacing yourself, not out of fear but respect for all your body has endured. Health becomes a daily, sacred practice, not a guarantee. When you do this, even without the old bounce, your footing grows steadier. You walk slower, but with awareness. You rest longer, but intentionally. and you see that a slower body can still hold a strong spirit. If you're still with me and find this helpful, comment number 2 below. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you do and turn on notifications so you don't miss future videos. Your support helps us keep creating content to inform and inspire you. Now, moving on. Number 3, a growing need for help. No matter how independent you've been, one of the toughest realities after 80 is needing help with things you once did effortlessly. It doesn't happen suddenly, it sneaks in quietly. You notice avoiding high cabinets, gripping railings tighter, hesitating before driving on rainy days. Part of you feels capable, another part knows some tasks aren't easy anymore. The hardest part isn't just physical, it's emotional. After decades of caring for others, becoming the one who needs help can feel uncomfortable. You might feel like a burden or hide your struggles, skipping errands, not telling family about a fall, trying to fix things despite pain. The desire for independence remains strong, but looks different after 80. It's not about doing everything alone, but knowing when to ask for help and accepting it bravely. I knew a man named Eugene, 85, who took pride in doing everything himself. A war veteran, father of 4, and builder of his own shed, he slipped on ice one winter. No broken bones, just bruised pride. He didn't say much, but his daughter noticed and began visiting weekly with groceries and coffee. Eugene resisted at first. "I'm fine," he said. But soon that coffee became a ritual, and he admitted something surprising. It felt good not to carry everything alone. That's the shift, not weakness, but wisdom. Accepting help isn't losing independence, it's protecting it. Letting someone assist with stairs, doctor visits, or heavy bags actually gives you more years to do what matters. Help doesn't always come from people. It can be grab bars, stools, reminders. These supports preserve dignity rather than take it away. After 80, the bravest words might be, "I could use a hand." The older you get, the more strength you show, choosing safety over pride, peace over struggle, and connection over isolation. Number 4, a presence the world starts to overlook. One of the more painful realities after 80 isn't about your body or memory, it's about how invisible you can feel. Slowly, the world begins to look right past you. Maybe not the people who love you, but the rest of the world. The cashier ignores you for the person behind you. The doctor talks to your adult child instead of you. The server assumes you can't hear or think or decide for yourself. At first it's subtle, then it happens more often. Even if you try to ignore it, it cuts deep because no matter your age, you still want to be seen. After a full life, working, raising family, making decisions, weathering storms, it's jarring to feel dismissed just because your skin has changed or your hair turned gray. What hurts even more is that it's rarely meant with bad intent. The fast pace of the world forgets that slow steps carry stories. A youth-obsessed society forgets the strength it took to get this far. And if you don't speak up, you risk shrinking, not because you lost your voice, but because no one listens. I remember Irene, 86, who volunteered at a museum. One day, a visitor asked a question she knew well from living through that era, but the question bypassed her completely. When I asked how she felt, she smiled and said, "I'm used to it." But there was sadness behind that smile, the sadness of being treated like furniture, not fire. But you are not furniture or background. You are still here, still thinking, still contributing. Just because the world sometimes forgets doesn't mean you have to. So what can you do? Speak anyway, ask questions, share opinions, vote, tell your stories even if no one asks. Stand tall, even if your knees shake. Every time you claim your space, you remind the world and yourself that you're not done, not invisible. You're a living library, a witness to time, a voice that still matters. You don't need to shout, just refuse to disappear. If you're still watching and find this useful, comment number 4 below to let me know. And if you haven't subscribed, I suggest you subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss future videos. Your support helps us create content that informs and inspires you. Now, let's continue. Number 5, a sense of regret. If you don't redefine your purpose as you move deeper into your 80s, a strange quiet can settle inside, not just in your home or schedule, but within you. Life slows, your calendar empties, and with this space comes reflection. It can be beautiful, but also heavy. Not the loud kind, but the quiet kind. The, "I wish I'd spent more time with them" kind. The, "Why didn't I take that chance" kind. It shows up when you have time, but maybe not energy or freedom to do the things you once postponed. This isn't often discussed. We celebrate the wisdom of aging, freedom of retirement, joy of grandchildren, and all of that is true. But so is the lingering question, often unspoken, what now? If you've spent your life working, giving, raising, serving, and then it stops, it can feel like your purpose fades too. I knew Stanley, 88, a teacher for over 40 years. After retiring, he felt proud but also strangely empty. "No one needs me anymore," he said, but that wasn't true. He just hadn't found a new way to be needed. Purpose doesn't retire, it changes shape. Maybe you don't build houses anymore, but you build confidence in great-grandchildren with your stories. Maybe you don't lead meetings, but lead with your presence in grief. Maybe you don't solve big problems, but solve loneliness with a smile. The danger of regret isn't making mistakes. We all do. It's sitting in them too long without turning them into meaning. When you redefine purpose not as productivity but presence, you see you still have so much to give to others and yourself. The most important work after 80 may not be for legacy or applause, but waking with kindness in your heart, curiosity in your eyes, and courage to ask, how can I bring light today, even a little? That's not regret, that's redemption, and it's never too late to find it. Final thoughts. Reaching your 80s is a major milestone, built on decades of love, loss, effort, change, and resilience. With that strength come new challenges, some subtle, others impossible to ignore. Facing these truths doesn't make you weak, it makes you honest. It means you've lived long enough to see life for what it really is, unpredictable, sometimes unfair, but always worth showing up for. So, which of these 5 realities resonated with you the most? Was it the silence when your social world starts to shrink? The frustration of a body that no longer recovers like before? The discomfort of needing help after a lifetime of being the helper? Or maybe the invisibility that comes when the world moves too fast to see you? Or the ache when your purpose isn't clear anymore? Whatever it was, I hope you felt understood. The truth is, you are not alone, not in slowing down, forgetting, the restless questions at night, or wondering what's next. And here's the good news. Even now, even at this stage, you get to choose. You can choose connection. You can choose rest. You can choose to ask for help. You can choose to speak up when overlooked and offer grace when someone needs it. You can forgive yourself for what didn't happen and honor yourself for what did. This chapter isn't the end. It's the deep part of your story, where every word carries meaning, where small acts mean more than grand gestures ever did, where your presence, patience, and perspective become your power. Thank you for joining me today. I'd love to hear from you. Leave a comment below sharing one thing you learned and how you plan to use it in your life. Your thoughts matter and inspire us greatly. If you found this video helpful, please like, subscribe, and share. Your support helps us keep creating content to inform and inspire you. Thanks for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.